Joel, you ready to talk about some GD wrestling?
Yeah. No, I am.
I just saw the title of the episode.
I think it's a very apt title for this episode.
Yep.
What the hell are you doing, Bray Wyatt?
What are you doing? Nothing. This is what the improv community calls waffling, where you just say stuff because you don't know where to take something. So.
There's so much lore that we have to talk about tonight, Tim.
Yes,
all later. We have other things to talk about. You wanna intro anything on the show here?
Nope.
All right. Well, welcome to Tim and Joel Call It in the Ring. What's the date today? It's the 15th of January, 2023. So I'm going to start titling and giving dates to these shows just because I like you all. And if you like us, go ahead, toss a thumbs up on this video, whether you're live or after the fact. I don't care. Just do it. Please. Thank you. Let's go. And you can leave a comment if you're watching us after the fact, or if you're in the chat, hey, hi, hello, how are you? It's good to see you. You can subscribe to us here at Fightful Overbooked anytime and tell your friends while you're at it. We got our super chats open. If you want to go ahead and support us here at Fightful Overbooked, go ahead, toss us a super chat. Any amount will, listen, we read questions from the chat all the time, but we'll bring it up more likely if you give us some ducats to go with it. And we appreciate
basically a guarantee we'll bring it up if you throw money on it.
That's true. You throw money down and we will absolutely, we are whores for this. And finally, we have our Overbooked Discord. Go ahead. There's a link in the description. And if there's an article up on Fightful, which there should be with this this particular stream and this show, then the link is also in the article on Fightful.com. So go ahead and do that. I do those now, by the way. I've been doing those for a while. I just do more of them for some reason.
Happens.
Start running content for a show, and then all of a sudden they wanted for all the other shows too.
Reward for good work is more work.
Just awful. Who would do that, right? Anyway, join the Discord. Tim, how are you feeling?
I'm pretty tired.
Yeah?
Unrelated to wrestling. Wrestling was fine. Thoroughly fine. Fine. End of story. That's how I feel about this week. But like it was yeah. Baby was a little ill this morning, which kind of destroyed the whole entire plan for the day. So
hopefully baby's doing a little better.
I got my 8 p.m. coffee. It's okay.
Oh, that's how you live. I got my 8 p.m. pickup too.
Yeah.
Pepsi, I'm here. If you want to sponsor us, let's do it. Let's go.
Would tie in with Christian Peepsy.
Ooh, Peepsy. I would love to.
And Marshmallow Peeps make Pepsi extra gross.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Take a gross thing and make it worse.
Mountain Dew Peep Black. Just in time for Easter. Oh God, that sounds great. Where do you want to start? I watched SmackDown today because I was covering Impact's Hard to Kill show on Friday, and I watched Rampage as well. But Rampage, typically not a show that we would talk about, but also there was some really fun.
A lot going on this week.
Rampage this week, yeah.
New Rampage. They're trying a little harder.
Raw, they kind of punted this week because there was a bowl game that was very lopsided. You think at that point, you'd like when they get to halftime and they realize that the score is like 50 whatever,
just let everyone go home.
We're calling it. Let's just go home. The last hour of Raw was like the tag match was actually really good. The tag turmoil or whatever they called it. I really enjoyed it. But
yeah, kind of out of nowhere, but like it was good.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm looking at Raw, and I'm just like nothing's like carting out Baron Corbin and having JBL talk while KO just sat there being like, F my life. I hate this.
Gotta give him a win. There's that one spot where he just like walked away and Baron kind of slammed into the ring post. That was good.
Yeah.
Was it worth all of it?
No, not at all.
Not even in the slightest. Wait, okay. So I didn't watch the week before and I was kind of in and out brain-wise this week. What happened with Bobby Lashley? Why is he back? I thought he was fired. Did they address that?
Yeah, they literally the next day on socials.
Okay.
Adam Pearce was like,
on socials. Piss off.
But that was the thing. It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago when they did that with Bobby. And then by the next Monday, they said Adam Pearce rescinded the firing. So
he was very sorry.
It was very sorry. He said, I made a big mistake. And then he apologized.
Yeah, he has a Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So now he's in the Royal Rumble, and his
Okay.
buddies in the Hurt business are probably going. Anyway, the Hurt business is probably going to get back together. I'm excited for that. I'm totally down.
Great. Yeah, do that. But I mean, whatever. Who knows where things are going now? Everything is in chaotic disarray.
They're going to dangle that carrot in front of us for another year. Be like, ooh, here comes the Hurt business.
Everyone's refired.
Woo! Here's Saudi Arabia instead.
We shall see. We shall
Yes,
see.
we will. Other than that, was there anything on Raw that really like tickled our
No, nothing like really stuck with me. Alexa's there doing her thing. I don't like where any of that's going. So
that's all gonna go into our Bray Wyatt conversation.
Yeah, that's part of the dumpster fire.
That was so bad. I don't know what they were thinking of doing there, but either way, Solo Sikoa and Dolph Ziggler went longer than it should have been, but Dolph's a really good worker, so it was a match. And then other than that, like, listen, tag team turmoil was great. Oh, Miz TV with the Judgment Day which is hilarious. He had Dominic trying to explain prison to.
Yeah, hard Dominic is funny. Like I don't know, he's very bad at it, but it's a funny shtick. I don't mind it. Him being not good at it is what makes it even better.
We're all hard for Dominic Mysterio here, aren't we? God damn. You know who else we're hard for? Anyway, sorry. Yeah, that was such a funny, stupid segment. And then they went into the tag team turmoil. And of course, Dominic becomes like the reason for tag team turmoil because
the entire focal point. Finn got tuckered or whatever.
Tucker's the other guy. He got Otis.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what happened to Tucker. He started Twitch streaming after he got released, and then he became like this yoga crypto guy. And
yeah, he turned into a douche, bro. And then everyone was just like, "That's enough, Tucker.
Nobody turns into these people."
He revealed himself to have always been a douche, bro. Yeah. This is the thing. Like sometimes wrestlers shouldn't open their mouth. It's just for the best.
There are a lot of times wrestlers shouldn't open their mouth. Who was it? Someone has this tweet that everyone goes back to, and I think it's Damo. It's Nikki Cross's husband. And it's like, what can I tell you? Most wrestlers are dipshits.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't know. Most of them are stupid. Also, never look at what they like, for the love of God.
Well, no, that's
it
how
hurts you.
Conversations start.
It's so painful.
We're going to talk about her and her new movie.
I was addressing somebody else still because the pile is never ending. Like,
yes.
Anyway.
Oh God, all the Mone in the world. Where do you want to go from here? That was Raw. That was fine. They're gonna do, I guess, a match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. That's the big question. Is it
cool.
The Raw Tag titles?
They exist for a week.
Well, they have both of them, right? The Usos do.
So they're doing it just for the Raw ones.
So that's what people keep saying. Like on the TV show, that's what they kept saying was the Raw Tag titles. But
that's fine. If that's how they do this one at a time, that works for me.
They're gonna. I mean, when do they do it? Is it tomorrow night? If it's Monday night, they're gonna be punting on that show too because there's a big ball game again.
Yeah. Well, there's 12 weeks of big ball games. It doesn't end.
Yeah, but this one has like big playoff.
True. We are nearing the end. So
yeah, I'm so excited for the end of that.
Yeah, I'll watch the 2 games or the 3 games I watch of the entire season soon. So that'll be nice.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch any of this. I'm not a football guy. I'm sorry. I'm a Canadian, and I'm just not a guy for that.
It's certainly understandable to not be a CFL guy.
Tell that to my buddy Greg, who's not going to let me live that down if I say it publicly. But anyway, I'm also not. I can't be a hockey fan anymore either because my teams are garbage.
They're very bad. It's very funny to me. I don't watch any hockey either. Also, not
like 7-1 yesterday.
I follow baseball and MMA. That's really the only like actual sport I follow.
You want to talk about Francis Ngannou? I don't know shit about.
He's just good. He's fighting the good fight, fighting the scumbags of the UFC. Refused to be the highest paid heavyweight fighter ever. It's fine because that's still not
employment soon.
He doesn't need. He's good.
You won't need it. That's true.
He's been there. He's a good man. President Ngannou, great guy.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this. Adam Pearson has the tourney for the tag titles because we got banger after banger after bang. Yeah,
that's true. That was a funny little. That was a cute little. They're just shaking him. Pierce is stabilizing his neck while he.
Pierce's face. He just kept going.
You can tell that was just like, we're gonna rib you on camera.
If anyone's gonna do it, it's Sheamus and Drew.
Yeah, big time. I've been really enjoying Sheamus's little like workout videos. Those are fun too.
So they brought them back because
Yeah.
during pandemic he was trying to do it, and then all of a sudden it was no third-party content, and all of a sudden that went away, and then it came back with Triple H. So I'm very much a fan of those. They're very funny.
They're funny and they're informative. I did the butterfly sit-up thing with Seth this week. It's fun. Anyway,
It came with that where he's doing them and he's just farting up a storm.
yeah.
I'm a child at best. Who farts when they work out? Anyway, where do you want to go from here? You want to talk about Dynamite and be chronological?
Yeah. Dynamite.
LA, baby. We're in the forum.
La.
Great opening contest. Adam Page, John Moxley.
Mm.
I enjoyed the shit out of that match.
It was good. Great storytelling. Great finish with Moxley being all like, oh, my brain.
Yeah, so now Moxley gets to go home and take a few weeks off finally. Gets to go.
It'll be 2 and he'll be back. Everyone he can't stay away.
Yeah, Saraya's gonna have her meltdown, and all of a sudden Mox has to save the division. Interim women's champion.
Mox in a wig. Like what?
It'll be him in the pink wig, like the hair he had when he was like 22.
Yeah, my God.
Renee's is gonna be like, what
what is going on?
I'm so into it. But yeah, Hangman and Mox had a really good match. Moxley's first loss in a while, like his first singles loss, and it was clean and it was good, and it just catapults Hangman back into that stratosphere where he should be, starting to look towards challenging for AEW championship, right? I want to see Hangman.
He's a contender.
When do we do Hangman and MJF? Is that a random Dynamite or is that a pay-per-view show?
I'd never know anymore, man. I don't know what the big matches are because like they throw them onto TV so quickly, and then honestly, the pay-per-views don't feel special to me. Like they feel longer. There are many more matches, but they aren't any more special than the stuff they throw on television. Like they got to find a way to kind of make those feel different and like telegraph what we're leading to a little bit more, maybe. Like I don't know, because they always feel like the build length for the pay-per-views is almost the exact same length as the build length for their random TV like matches. So not important to me.
Yeah. Looking in the chat, they're saying, I've been saying a woman should join the BCC for the longest time. I guess we should have Mox in a wig.
Yeah.
Renee, I need a pink wig. What for? Don't ask.
Don't ask.
And then they go from one guy with a brain injury to another guy as Adam Cole Bebe comes out and does his best meme impersonation of call an ambulance, but not for me. I like this promo. I thought Cole was
very earnest.
I liked it because that's
He's
Adam
a nice man.
You ever watch Chugs on Twitch?
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah. So yeah, this is good. Good that he's back. Very necessary, very needed. Good for AEW at the moment. I'm also just digging like this new look is much better. Like they look a lot more polished. Having the barricade wraps is really, really nice.
Thank you. Yes, they finally got the new ring skirts and the new barricade wraps. It almost begs the question, like, why didn't you do this the week before? Was it?
I assume a delay, but that's just bad organizing. Like,
yeah, that's just
what this really feels like is like we used up all of the money, but we specifically run our budgets January to January, and now all the new money's in. Like,
oh God, no, we had to spend an extra $1 million on the Jags, make sure that they were still going to the playoffs. But yeah, I enjoyed Adam Cole Bebe's promo. I'm happy to see Chugs back. I'm a little nervous that the way they're going to play it is that he's a face for like the first month, and then the Kingdom's going to try and get him to be their friend again, and he's not going to fight the Kingdom, but eventually he's going to side with the Kingdom, and that's going to be when he finally joins the Kingdom, and then here we are again.
That's the one thing with this promo that kind of irked me was that like, oh, you're a face. We'll see how long that lasts. Like, I don't know.
Fine by me. But yeah, oh man, I'm excited to see where they go with that. Jungle Hook take on the Firm, Big Bill and Lee.
This match was fun. I don't think Jungle Hook is as interesting of a name as AEW seems to think it is. It's just like, okay,
I think it's
not really
Jungle Book.
Yeah, that's not anything. Like that's a rhyme. but the two combined me anyway. It's not that good. I don't think it's that interesting. I liked the build to the T-bone suplex. T-bone suplex?
Yeah, it's T-Bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was fun.
It was. It felt a little anticlimactic to me. I don't know why. I just maybe
what ruined it was that they still needed Lee Moriarty to take the pin. So like it was a big moment, and then there was like another couple of minutes of just kind of rolling around the ring while they hugged him into submission. So
yeah, that's fair.
with the STF or whatever.
But I mean, you know, it was a fun match. There's a certain subset of the crowd that was super into it, so I get it. And I'm not going
to see Hook back in the ring. Like I'm just happy to see that. So
yeah, exactly. Oh my god, get a musical number where Jack Perry sings "I Want to Be You." I want to be like you.
Oh, man, he does love shelling out a fortune for musical rights, but Disney might be a hard one given. Anyway.
The Americans and Dragonson, Bryanson Danielson takes on Konosuke Takeshita. I'm normally very good at saying that name, but MJF apparently is not good at saying that name. What do you think of that promo that MJF got?
Okay, I had seen some people complaining about it, and so I was expecting something bad, and it was nothing. It was a heel promo. It was fine. Like I don't know. I'm sorry if that upset you. It didn't seem particularly off color for like a heel wrestling promo.
I think it was lazy.
Yeah, but that's been MJF's kind of MO lately. I don't think he's been trying very hard. He's been going blue and going just really like crude for a while now. Like he lost some of his magic as soon as he like on the way to this championship.
He lost his magic when he laid out William Regal.
Yeah.
But he comes to the ring, he says all the shit. And in the moment, I was talking about this with somebody else. I said, like, in the moment, I fully understand why you would feel a little gross about that promo. But that's kind of the point.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Like, they're also in LA. Like, it's not anyway.
Well, on top of that, he also gets run off by Danielson afterwards. Like, the idea here is that the heel was being such a POS that afterwards the babyface came down to like make the save and make things right, and the heel took a powder. He knew he was wrong. He knew he was button pushing and being a piece of shit. So he hightailed it. He looked like a coward. That's what.
The crowd was booing him. It was it was good.
Yeah,
right things were happening. Minus there were quite a few MJF signs in the background at the time, which was like, but what can you do, wrestling fans?
Wrestling fans is right. But it was fine. I
did not think it was that like line crossy.
No, I think a lot of people want to find something wrong with everything immediately instead of finding a little bit of time to analyze and be introspective about a wrestling promo, which sounds really weird to say, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
For sure.
Either way, go ahead.
Two celebrities in this segment. Like this is the thing where it's like they are doing what they need to and should be doing business wise, but I couldn't give less of a shit about any of the celebrities that come to AEW. Like there's no celebrity I think that I would care about, period. That's like, I'm not really speaking to the caliber of celebrity, although like a couple of them are like straight C or D tier. But like Ken Jeong's fun and Freddie Prinze Jr. is wrestling, so whatever. But I don't care. I just don't care. I don't need them to tie into the show. I didn't know who Paul Walter Hauser was. I had to Google it. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen him in a couple things.
Yeah.
I don't care. Why does he have this box? Wait, I don't care.
It's a Golden Globes box, and you have to wait until Rampage to find out what he won the Golden Globe for.
I don't know.
It was very strange.
Stupid. Like, anyway, it's fine. Like, I'm not criticizing them for this because I think it does make sense to do this from a business perspective and to grow the brand and to show legitimacy. It's all good. It's just boring as hell to me.
Also, Vince Vaughn was at the show.
What the really?
Yeah, Vince Vaughn was there. He got a photo with Adam Cole and Britt Baker.
Maybe he was just like, don't show me on camera. I am in my fat face. Like
he looked fine when the photo was taken. And actually, Mark Maron and his producer were there. They did a whole. They did some of their premium content was them going because it was Mark's first wrestling show, like as I think either ever or as an adult. And like for those who don't know, Mark Maron was also a cast member on Glow.
Glow,
On
yeah.
Netflix,
I
and
mean,
like,
it's not surprising to me. Like,
yeah, so
that
he
he,
worked with a bunch of wrestlers, on the background and the foreground of
yeah. There was someone like who made like a lot of sense who was working with them for in-ring
Chavo.
stuff.
Chavo.
Chavo, yeah, thank you, yeah.
Yeah. So that was really cool. But I was trying to get Brandon, his producer, to give me a few minutes to talk to Mark and Brandon about the experience. It's been an uphill battle because they very much know how to monetize their own damn content and not let me have a little bit more of it. So
Yeah, that's like his bread and butter these days. So
Brandon, Mark, this is my plea. Come talk to me. 15 minutes. Let's go. Come on. Anyway, Danielson and Takeshita had a really good match.
very good. Very much enjoyed this. Like this really, again, like Takeshita stood out pretty quickly when he showed up for me. And then, yeah, continued to do that. This was really, really good. I thought kiss my ass. Is that what he said in the end? Like that was a good bit.
So okay. So here's the thing. You're not on Twitter anymore, and you're
No.
not like that insider wrestling person who like follows every little thing. And I know that also bugs you because we talk about it on the show. A lot of this stemmed from a photo of Don Callis at PWG talking to Konosuke Takeshita, at which point Glenn Gilberti, aka Disco fucking Inferno,
dipshit,
WCW, that dipshit, said something like he'll never be a big star because he doesn't speak good English.
Okay, so this is all like kind of a nod. That makes the MJF stuff even less of a problem.
Right, that's really what it was. But the problem was, at the end of the day, we're having to go to those Twitter conversations and those Twitter posts that like not everyone follows.
But here's the thing: I think this one worked just fine on a surface level too, right? Like I didn't know any of that, and I still like watched it and understood it. There was no like, I just thought Takeshita seemed like, is this American enough for you? Like the fact that he said American and not English delivered the tone for that pretty clearly. It's like, this is a parody of this opinion. Like, anyway.
So I agree with you on that. I think in that regard, they did a really good job of kind of taking it away from the, oh, you had to be there to know, to making it a little more understandable for someone who maybe isn't, permanently and constantly online.
Terminally online.
We don't have to talk about Juice Robinson. He's got a match against Darby.
Didn't love that promo.
And then Jamie Hayter and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Saraya and Toni Storm. That's the match.
A lot of shouting.
A lot of Toni Storm walking to the ring looking a little bit of boo-boo face because I don't think she was really happy about how things were playing out.
Sometimes they got to play out that way. Sorry,
sometimes
Tony.
People need to figure out that something is something and it's not something else. Not everything is a swerve, bro, and not everything is like some ridiculous like big moment in wrestling.
Yeah.
We talked last week about Mercedes Moné showing up, and we were kind of both under the impression and under the agreement that no, she was not going to be in the match.
Yeah, this is going to play out exactly how they said. They were trying to downplay it last week with that interview.
Yeah. And then we said maybe she'll show up and the tickets will be hers. And then later on in the afternoon on Wednesday on a Twitch stream, Saraya's like, no, man, I gave those to friends. Why do wrestling fans have to make everything weird? Like I gave them.
Why do you have to say things on the, because here's like, okay. And that's where I disagree with her on that. You have a 2-hour program, not including all of the commercials, not including all of the wrestling where not a whole lot of speaking happens. The words you say should be purposeful. The little bits should matter. It's like in a movie, you shouldn't be showing things that don't matter. It's a waste of time and it's limited. So like, don't just say shit.
It is quite frustrating. That's one thing that you and I have harped on with AEW is that sometimes they'll introduce a thread, but then it just kind of gets burnt and nothing happens to it.
Yep.
The tickets were one of those things. And I can see where they were trying to be like, do you want these tickets or do you want the match? And Saraya was like, I'll find a partner. We'll have a match. And she still took the tickets. I think that's where a lot of people just kind of said, oh, she took the tickets too. But it should have just been like, I'll have the match, tear up the tickets.
Yeah, that's a funny, like, and that's the right way to approach that and have it not turn into a bunch of speculation. However, I also don't really begrudge AEW that because the silly building of speculation does work in their favor at this point in time.
Yeah.
So like whatever, it's fine. I just wish they wouldn't drop so many narrative threads, but like I also, yeah, that's me taking issue with Saraya kind of explaining it away when you could just say, no, it was just a thing.
So I don't fault AEW for this. I had a whole long conversation with people who were like, no, this is exactly like CM Punk. This is, very similar, if not the same. They booked an entire arena on this. And I'm like, what? They booked Punk on a rumor. Yeah. A very like worst kept secret rumor. Mercedes was just a bunch of people talking to talk, and like one promo that may have been even aired erroneously. They made one reference and said boss and a wink, and people lost their damn minds. Suddenly it was like, oh, she's coming. And we're just like, or is she? And she was not. So again, it's just it's expectation setting in wrestling. I think there's a lot of conversation about that, but that was the second time that week where expectation setting in wrestling needed to be put into place.
Delightful.
We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. Jericho's in the ring and he does the whole thing with Ricky Starks and Action Andretti. My favorite part of the entire promo was when Jericho talks about Bola, but Excalibur, who is the commentator at Bola, did not make any reference to the fact that the entire JAS showed up at Bola.
Didn't want to give him the credibility. I don't know. Yeah.
Hager likes his hat, so it's Hager and Starks next.
Yeah, that's fine. It was fine. It was a long way to get to that.
Sammy and Starks will be great, but God, just get to Starks and Jericho in a stipulation match at Revolution. Just get there.
Yeah.
Please. End this now.
It's fine. I'm glad that Starks has a package. There will be moments along the way where this is very good, as is tradition with Jericho. Like, it's just this week was one of the meh segments where they just make a bunch of dim-witted jokes. Which is also Jericho's MO. It's like half real lowbrow, boring crap, and then some gold along the way. So, we'll get it.
Speaking of gold, match number 7 of the Death Triangle and Elite Best of 7.
It's over.
Trios Championship. Yay. Okay, Yay. So the Elite win. It's a 15-minute match. It's a sprint to the finish. Listen, it was a fun match. I think it was really good stuff. It's over.
I think unfolded exactly how we said after they blew up the entire thing. And I was like, okay.
The only thing they didn't do was have House of Black show up right away.
Yeah.
They calmed down on that after they took out Brandon Cutler that 1 week. Now it's like, it's going to happen. We just don't know when. Okay.
The match was fine. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what the Elite are. Like, they still have Don Callis. They still have like Brandon Cutler doing the cooling spray. Like I don't. Am I supposed to cheer for these guys? Like I don't like. Yes. I don't like them at all. I think they're a bunch of douchebags.
Oh my God, why?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, because they carry themselves as such. Yeah, I don't know. The match was fine. This just felt like a consolation prize. This entire thing felt like a consolation prize to Death Triangle, where it's just like, okay, they're coming back and they're the bosses, so they get the titles first. Yeah, we just took a little detour with you guys, so to make you feel better, you'll lose it, but it'll take a really long time. Okay, is that okay? Okay,
you got 90 days. Figure out how you're gonna put these titles together for 90 days. Yeah, I understand that.
Some of these matches were fun. Some of them were not necessary. Like the bulk. Okay, here's the thing. On the tipping point of the scale, most of it was very entertaining. So, like, all in all, positive. We'll see where they take the trios titles after this, because I don't know.
Who has next? Because for all intents and purposes, you've got Kenny, who now has the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship. He's doing this belt collector thing again. They can't just let the trios titles go by the wayside and be like, look, the EVPs have it, so therefore we don't need to put them up any. And then you got the Young Bucks, who of course would love to be tag team champions again. What do you do? Like, who gets next on the trios title? Because clearly at one point Kenny's going to want to go for presumably the AEW World Championship, and the Bucks will presumably want to go for the AEW Tag Team Championships. So who's next? House of Black? And that's a quick move.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go right over to them. I think we'll have like some intermediary 2-week thing with a trio. I can't really think of many other than like Best Friends, but Cassidy is occupied at the moment with his belt, although that hasn't stopped them from busying people up, even though they should be using those title belts to fill out shows. Yeah, that's Penguin.
Best Friends and Orange Cassidy.
They're the quickest, laziest 3-man group that can eat an L. Like that's just where I see it, because they'd have to kind of build someone up real quick and then have them lose. They do have other trios. I just can't for the life of me like think of anyone other than Best Friends.
Yeah, we got a super chat from Dex Baker. Thank you, saying, I agree. I have no idea what the Elite are. And when you book them against favorite acts like Death Triangle and maybe House of Black, I know who I'm booing. And I get it.
Yeah.
They've got that kick-ass Kansas theme to the Elite. And then after that, you're just like, okay, now what do we do?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I thought they were coming back as faces because they were, they got the music. It was a good moment. The return felt really strong.
Okay, I kind of like this idea, by the way.
Yeah, that's actually the perfect group to eat that L within 2 weeks. Like,
it's more likely they'll give them the Ring of Honor 6-man tag titles, though.
Yeah, my God.
I love the idea that both Ring of Honor and AEW have the 6-man tag champions just go at it versus have the Elite and is it Cage's Embassy? Yeah. That's a good match. Elite versus the Embassy is going to be a banger. Let's do it.
Hey, look, that does sound fun, to be honest. I want to see Brian Cage throw around all three of those guys.
So much fun. Khan and oh God, what's his name? Not Tonga.
The other one.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm such a fan of that. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I want to see. Yeah, you can do it with Satnam too. Satnam Singh just beating the shit out of everyone, just like
attempting to. How will he overcome the agility of the Elite?
It'll be the King Kong spot. Yeah, he's just swatting out of the air. No.
At one point, just have both the Bucks running around him like in a circle.
And then Kenny comes in and hits a
V-trigger.
V-trigger. I was going to say
the mightiest, highest leaping V-trigger you could ever imagine.
Superman punch from.
Give him the little trampoline they gave Reginald.
If you want to listen, if you have the Elite go all the way to the next big crossover event with New Japan, you can have Aussie Open and Will Ospreay challenge for the trios titles. That's not bad. I would do that. Continue the Ospreay story, but I think there's a little. I think we're kind of moving past Ospreay and Kenny. After
I don't think it's going to be that quick of a run for them. I think the level of narcissism that was exhibited here is going to mean they get at least 6 months, I think.
And also, let's not forget, I know we're talking about narcissism and all that, but on the other side of it, they are some of the bigger stars of the company, and these are brand new titles. And the original plan was for them to hold those titles and give some sort of relevance to them. So I'm not against the idea of them holding it for a while, but it did kind of get messed up for the last 90 days.
I think the whole title situation in AEW got messed up because all of a sudden the everything just exploded with the Ring of Honor acquisition, right? Like these trios titles people were like clamoring for, but there's so many belts at play now. Like,
that's what did it. It had nothing to do with targets and empty-headed dumb fucks, and drift and muffins. Nothing to do with that. No, not at all.
There's also that. Yeah.
Oh God. All right. Well, let's move on. That was Dynamite. A good episode of Dynamite. All things considered, I thought it flowed well. That's really what it came down to. I thought it flowed well.
Yeah, in-ring was good. Like there was the acclaimed promo. I didn't really pay attention. Something about the Walk of Fame. But yeah, like it wasn't. Stuff happened. It was good. It was a solid show. Like fine, very good.
What else is fine is leaving a thumbs up on this video. Oh yeah.
You
want to talk about SmackDown?
Yeah.
Or do you want to talk about Rampage? Actually, the only thing I want to highlight from Rampage is that street fight. That
street fight, very bloody.
Great.
I saw on Bleacher Report they were talking about the white shirt, and I was like, yeah, that's literally every blood match. The wrestlers come out wearing white. And if that's not typically part of their gear, they're going to be bleeding a lot. Exactly. Like that has happened consistently in AEW. If there's going to be blood, everyone's wearing white, which is not a bad idea. It's just funny because it super telegraphs what's going to happen.
That is a trope in wrestling as old as time.
Yeah.
You wear
Hey,
blue because it accents the blood.
Yeah.
I was going to say accentuates, and I said accents. But yeah, that match was so good. No update yet on Anna Jay after taking that table spot that's been going around. I'm going to assume she's fine. I'm pretty sure this is a no news is good news situation.
Yeah.
But I think on Wednesday, because she's the heel, she's going to come out and like neck brace,
wheelchair, like all her limbs in casts. Yeah.
And then because she's with Jericho, Jericho's going to be like, that's what you're doing. You're just going to be all casted up. No, you're going to cover up the bust, cover up the butt, like cover up everything that makes you look like you.
Yeah.
And that's going to get you heat. And then we're all just going to laugh about this shit. But kudos to everyone involved in that match, because it was bloody and it was really fun. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted Ruby and Willow to fight. I wanted Ruby to turn on Willow.
It's not happening. Telling you.
There's still time. All right, SmackDown opens with Gunther versus Braun Strowman. This was a really good match for the Intercontinental Championship.
For the most part.
I really liked the finish because the finish made sense.
They were both exhausted. You could tell, it was sloppy, but it did make sense. Like, Gunther is not a light man. So
one thing to keep in mind when it comes to the finish is that Gunther has so many different ways to finish you. And we've talked about this in this show. You know, he's got the power bomb. He's got that lariat. He's got, he's used that drop kick as a finish. Like
his chops have finished. Like
his chops. So the idea here was that he used all of those things in succession finally to put down Braun. And I thought that was just really solid storytelling on his part. I really enjoyed that match with Gunther. And then he later on said, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. So I guess this means that Brock Lesnar might also show up in the Rumble. If the rumors are true and it's Gunther versus Brock at WrestleMania, I'm all in on this shit.
Yeah, that sounds actually very good to me. Like, very, very good. I would love to see that. They could also do a fun thing in the Rumble. Like, they made a big deal about Brock and Braun sharing the most eliminations thing. That's another way to get Gunther into, like, because that is the role he is stepping into. Like, this is the way to do it. Tie him up here. Have Brock maybe stop him, like get him to 13 and have him close to 14 and have Brock yeet him.
I really like that idea. I had not thought of that, and I really like that.
They made a meal of it, and like this seemed like something that maybe Triple H was, we'll see.
And Mod Mike pointing out, he used the splash as a finish too at one point, so it was good. It's just a really solid match, and I see Scott in the chat saying like, I miss the Intercontinental Championship being defended at the Rumble. Fine with this in this case, because that was the one championship where if it was defended at the Rumble event, probably meant it was changing hands.
Yeah.
Because the WWE Championship almost never was. Anyway, Sammy and the Bloodline stuff, we're going to talk about that at the end of the show, at the end of the SmackDown talk, because there was so much good stuff in there. I want to really dig in. And meanwhile, I don't really want to dig in too much on Mysterio and Karrion Kross.
Okay. I do. There's a few things in this. One, Mysterio's mask was weird. Loved it. Loved how weird it was. It looked very soft.
I think it was his casual mask.
Yeah, it was definitely his, like, I don't wrestle in this mask. This is my talking to people out in the world, man.
Yeah, somebody told me it was his laundry day mask.
It looked very comfortable. I'll tell you that. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, it was the sweatpants of masks. It was great.
Material.
Yeah.
That's great.
Karrion Kross comes out and he's dressed like Hitman. Just saying, like, he's got the red tie. He's got, it was like, yep. Yeah, okay. They finally listened. He's going to be a hitman with a witchy wife. Oh, the card botch, like the very obvious. Whoever's doing like that specific effect work for WWE needs to be replaced. Like,
so I'll give it to Luis here. He said that the mask Ray wore was the original Rey Mysterio.
Oh, that is very nice. Okay,
I had told someone I think it's one of his old WCW masks, so this makes more sense.
Yeah,
it was his dad's mask, and or not his dad.
It's perfect. It's a tradition for father to shit on son. Like,
every father sucks in wrestling. Well, but the Kross stuff was
Kross's delivery of the promo was not great. But his look was a
character. Sorry, any character who comes out looking like Hitman is probably going to be a real piece of shit human. I'm looking at you, Loki.
Yeah, exactly. It was something. It was very funny. It was very like paint by numbers heel promo. Like I feel like this exact promo has been delivered every single decade, like a few times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got nothing to add to
It
it.
was fine. It was fine. Good. They did well of covering that card not going off and just like choking him out and walking out, and nobody made any like faces or anything when it didn't work. So good on their professionalism for that.
Yeah. That Liv promo in the back. I loved this for all. It was so camp. It was so funny. And you got Maxine Dupree, and everyone's like, who's that blonde girl next to Emma? And I'm just laughing because she hasn't been on TV in so long.
It took me a while until she opened her mouth, and I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Not Sophia Cromwell. Anyway, yeah, so Liv is like, I'm gonna go in number one, and they're all making fun of her, and then in walks Raquel Rodriguez, and she's just like, you know, that's stupid. They're right. They should laugh at you. You're being dumb. And then Liv does everything but break out. What do the 5 fingers say to the face? Instead, she's like, oh, I got my
palm red today. Slap. Fight time.
That was absolutely my favorite thing ever. It like if she had done the 5 finger say to the face, if she had done that line, I would have packed it up and been like, wrestler of the year.
Just like how bad everyone is at acting in that room was really great. Like it was very wrestling. I loved it. It like this was actually good. Like when I say bad is like no, this is what things should be in wrestling. I think like this was perfectly fine. It set up a match that made sense. The one thing I hate is that the rules for entering the Royal Rumble make no sense, and there's no like. Before they used to do back in the 90s, they used to do lotteries. They used to have competitions for spots. Now it's just like you can choose to enter whenever is how they seem to talk about it, which is not how it rolls out. Like, I don't know.
It's been a bit of a mess over the last few years for sure.
Yeah.
The lottery stuff was good for storytelling. There was, you know, Eddie Guerrero and Ric Flair, and Eddie stole Rick's number and all that stuff. Stuff like that was always fun, but they've kind of they've gotten rid of that in the past. But I would love.
Now it's just chaos. Like it's like they're trying to dissuade Liv. It's like you could enter last, and it's like, could she? Is that how it works? Like,
and I don't agree that everyone should have a qualifying match, but I think that
I think everyone would be a bit much. But like if we had multiple heats, that type of quality show, sure. But yeah,
or like people that you 100% equate with winning percentages, or someone who doesn't lose every other match, like Xia Li, for example, probably shouldn't be given automatic entry.
A bye. Yeah, no, exactly. Like
she should have to fight Tegan Knox, for example.
And like they put in like all of the lower tier champs if they don't have a match, like as a bye. That's easy. Like
number one contenders, whoever they are.
Yeah.
Have stuff like that. There's a way to do it, but I really don't think
all it requires is having a narrative board that you actually adhere to. But whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Writing is hard.
Anyway, we talked about the Drew and Sheamus thing.
It was funny.
Now we gotta talk about Bray Wyatt.
Oh, we're doing it here. All right, here we go.
Yeah, no, this is it.
This is it.
What the hell are we doing, Bray Wyatt?
Skipped through his entrance because nothing new there except the sound quality was crap. Does the entrance, comes out, sits in a chair, rocking chair. Nothing new there. Done that before.
Then that was his like callback.
Yeah. He's right in the swamp. He says all of his former names. He remembers he is Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, I am him.
It's like, okay.
He is the nagging conscience of a world that has thrown itself away to moral monsters. Basically, he says a lot of 2014 Bray Wyatt bullshit, and he's just like, hey man, I'm the guy. Basically, he smoked a big fat bowl and was like, I know what I'm gonna say out here, man.
That was the vibe. And he's like, hey, when those lights run out, you better run. Make sure not to slip on the Mountain Dew on the way out. Like, okay.
By the way, before I cut that promo, you guys got my rocking chair. I don't think I can stand up for the whole thing.
Oh shit, I'm in it.
So baked.
I've been rocking this whole time. Yeah.
When does LA not come out for this part? Oh, he's not here this week. Oh shit.
I got nothing. I got nothing else.
What are we doing, Bray Wyatt? What is the point?
I said this was a risk, and it's true colors time, baby. I don't know.
I'm hoping we look back and ignore this promo entirely, but this week
Yeah.
was not it. And I can tell you that more people were like, what the fuck is this? Then we're fine with it.
Yeah.
Hey man, is that Mountain Dew? How's that taste?
Is that black enough for you? Like, you can put
Jeremy
more
and
tar in it. Like,
Jeremy and I posited that the pitch black match, the way it should be is you get two 2-liter bottles of the product.
inside your hands.
You do Edward 40
Yeah,
hands.
do 40 hands, yeah.
But then you drink a full bottle, and then you get to kick your opponent in the stomach.
The first one to piss loses.
No, the first one to puke up the bottle.
Oh yeah, because that's coming out faster than piss with Mountain Dew.
Well, especially if you're kicking your opponent in the stomach after you drink a 2-liter bottle. That's the way you do it. I'm fine with it. It was just not a good segment from Bray. And I'm like, a few weeks ago, we were like, yeah, I'm willing to let this play out. I think
I get that's what I was saying. I was like, it's do or die time. He doesn't have the constraint of Vince or the excuse of Vince McMahon. We'll see.
The QR code thing again, and the QR code went to the Fiend in Firefly Funhouse. Lore.
He's just like, I'm still deciding which one of my previous personas I'm going to revert to because I don't know where to take this one.
I don't know. Like no,
watch that be it. Watch that be it at the end of Uncle Howdy entirely, realizing that the whole thing is kind of awkward and weird, and they just use it as a transition phase to get him from "Hi, I'm Bray Wyatt returning." Bray Wyatt. Oh my God. You know what? Put him in a crop top. Let's do it.
Let's go. Live will rejoin.
Hot pants, fishnets.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Alexa Bliss shows up on Raw and she's just like, I am evil. And then Uncle Howdy comes out and is like, are you in control? And everyone's like, I mean, no one is in control because that segment was awful. It was off the rails.
Yeah.
The Uncle Howdy stuff to me is fascinating only because if it turns out to be Bo Dallas, people are going to make so many Bo Leave jokes out of it. Like,
I believe.
Yeah. I believe in Uncle Howdy.
Awful.
I don't know what to expect. I just my it's not my expectations because those are already pretty low, but like my feeling towards how this plays out is not super high these days.
That match is going to be not great.
The pitch black match is either going to be absolutely incredible because it's so bad.
Yeah, okay.
Like so bad it's good. Great show, by the way. Or it's going to be so bad it's just really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I will be. I would wager it will be difficult to see. That's about it.
I believe in Joe Howdy. You should all watch Impact Wrestling, by the way. I host a post show on Fightful.com every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern with Cresta Star. She's great. KO and Sammy. Let's just go to that because I don't have anything else to add. Like
what? Charlotte and Sonya. That was fun. That was a fun little fight backstage.
Okay, yes. I
didn't like the Sonya setup with Adam Pearce.
No, that was weird. But the
fight was fun. Yeah.
You're right. I did enjoy the fight. I had a good laugh at like Sonya coming back and like jumping on Charlotte on the back.
From the back. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was good.
You got Bray Wyatt off the side being like, yeah, man, that's good entertainment.
Yeah.
Give me more of that Mountain Dew pitch black.
Oh my God.
Do you think he just sits in a pitch black room all day thinking this is it? Anyway, yeah.
No, doesn't he have like 8 kids? That man's got like obligation. He's probably got a second job somewhere.
He's a Trader Joe's guy. How do you think Tony Chimmel got this job, man? I'm the manager of the produce department at this Trader Joe's. Anyone got an apple? I like red. I don't know why he suddenly what's his face? Who's the comedian I'm thinking of? Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg, yeah.
Rice is good when you want 200 or something, man. Oh, I messed up the joke. Anyway.
Yeah, you sure did.
I was doing him.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the Charlotte and Sony thing was great. But when do you do that? When do you do that match? At the Rumble or do you do it before?
Rumble. I think this is a good way to put a women's match with a title on the line at Rumble.
And I guess it's one less person in the Rumble, or not in the Rumble.
Exactly. Like, I feel like these are the two people you can take out of the Rumble situation and it would be okay. Like, you don't want to do like a big contender. Like Sonya, I think, is the right choice to run it back. Maybe a stipulation because we saw the match on SmackDown, right? So
falls count anywhere.
Oh man, no. Maybe they did the backstage thing. That's usually a good sign that they might.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have an exact match that you expect them to have, which is a very, very good one.
Yes.
Ends in a DQ.
Yeah.
I don't hate it because it made sense. Earlier in the night, Paul was like, there's no bloodline here, buddy. It's just you. And you can do it. I'm pumping you up. I'm gassing you up. You're going to go, you'll beat KO's ass and everything's going to be fine and dandy. And Sammy had it. He had the haluva kick set up, ready to go. And in comes the bloodline, beat the shit out of KO. And Sammy's like, what is this? I had this. And just looking completely shocked, disheveled, upset, every feeling under the sun. What do you think? What do you think of the match? What do you think of the outcome?
Match is really, really solid. Like you said, like exactly kind of what you expect. These two know each other so well that like they got to have chemistry. And they've wrestled a billion times at this point. I thought this DQ finish was actually pretty interesting because it like cool. The ultimate goal was to disable Kevin Owens, right? Like that was the goal of the bloodline. They amp up Sammy to be like, you got this, you got this, you got this. And then when he does, like after all of that talk of love, he sees that this was in the works, and now he has to question, did he have faith in me? Right? Like that's the angle they're doing here, which is like nice because it's actually kind of it's not dumb, which is rare. Like it's like you have to kind of put together the rest of the pieces of where it's going because you can see like, okay, how would Sami Zayn feel in this moment, right? Because he never wins, like ever. Certainly not on his own. And in this one case where he's got it and it's taken away from him by like the ultimate goal of the franchise, like the bloodline needed to just disable Kevin Owens. They don't care about Sami Zayn's like ability to win or lose a match. Like they were going to make sure this was going to happen no matter what. But they couldn't even hold off until after, right? Like they took the opportunity, even though it meant taking away a big moment for Sammy. So I thought this was nice.
So they do a couple of things that I really liked in that after Sammy kind of gets confused, upset, gaslit for all intents and purposes, they go to do the handshake that him and Jay do. And like he kind of half-asses it and doesn't do it right when normally that's a thing that like Sammy would have locked, loaded, totally ready to go. And this time, like there was just nothing to it. He was so just disheartened, like he was so busted up over everything, like so overwhelmed in the moment. And then he sees Solo go and do the splash on Kevin Owens, and that was like a bridge too far. That was the moment, like that just crushed.
It's what we've been talking about. Like they go too far in beating up Kevin Owens, and it starts to shift his mindset here. So.
And then this is what I loved the most. As they're standing over Kevin Owens, I don't know if people caught this. There's this little moment where KO is grabbing at the bottom, or sorry, the top, I should say, of Sammy's boots. Nobody else. He's not grabbing at anybody else. He's only grabbing at Sammy. And he does it for a while until Sammy finally like backs away and like kicks his hand off.
Yeah.
And looks at him like very just confused. And there's such good storytelling in there. And just, just that moment, I'm excited for the Rumble match. We all know the outcome, but I think it's what happens afterwards that's going to make the big difference. And I guess really at the end of the day, you reward Sammy in his hometown with the Elimination Chamber title match.
Yep.
That makes the most sense to me.
For sure.
Originally, I thought it was the other way around. I thought it would be they do Sammy at the Rumble because it's a foregone conclusion that the champion's going to retain. And then they were going to do KO at Elimination Chamber or some sort of combination of everyone. This was much better. And what they when Sammy now this begs the question. Does the Bloodline turn on Sammy, or does Sammy turn on the Bloodline?
And I don't know. And that's like both are fine. Like there's avenues. They've done the work that either one makes sense and would feel like well earned. So now I'm just like, this is the thing I like. I can't predict it. I don't know for sure. It's good.
If Sammy doesn't turn by the Rumble or get jumped out by the Rumble, then he turns on the Bloodline at the Rumble, before, after, whatever, and the KO's still going to lose, but he still factors into the finish. That's kind of my general feeling.
Yeah.
And I don't hate the idea of having Sammy be the one who turns on the Bloodline and gets the better of them, because we don't see that with faces anymore.
No.
We don't see them get the upper hand. Instead of getting jumped out of the group, they're, being made to look stupid for a change. And I'm okay with that idea.
Mm-hmm. Same.
There's a lot of really, really cool stuff going on in that story. It's frustrating that it's the one story in WWE that you can go back to time and again and be like, oh, there's something new there, something fun. And then you get like Bray Wyatt, where you're just like, man, what are we doing?
Yeah, I know it is very frustrating that they can't run an entire show's worth of this, because like they have all of the resources and talent in the world to do so. So it is very frustrating that there's any difficulty here. Doesn't make sense to me.
Did you watch anything else this week? I'm sure you watched NXT, right?
No, I didn't watch NXT. What happened on NXT? I've been seeing some Sol Ruka clips. She seems very talented.
She is their highly gifable person.
Yeah.
She was actually they did a women's #1 contender battle royal, and she did the Kofi spot.
Yeah, that's one of the clips I saw. It was very good. And
it was fine.
Man, upper body strength. Oh, seems exhausting.
They seem to be trying to give Toxic Attraction what's left of them a little bit more, because Mandy's gone. I'm fine with it. I don't know. Listen, as a first challenge to Roxanne, sure. Like, Roxanne Perez is the title holder. They're trying to get back from Mandy, who lost her title to Roxanne, and like this is the end. This is the closure, and she wins. And I'm fine with that story.
Yeah, I think this is a fun little thing to do. It's a very pro wrestling thing to do, to have the tag team like dual win. I thought the reveal was campy and nice. Like I liked the like, oh, you both win. Like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Triple threat with the tag team. Like,
yeah. And then Jinder showed up in NXT.
Yeah, back down to the farm team.
I love it.
It's fine. I'm glad to see him on TV. I think he's talented. I don't understand the frustration with it. I guess it comes down to his WWE title run, which I never witnessed. Yeah. Right? Yeah, but I think he's a very talented wrestler. I think he's got a great look. I don't think he has a lack of personality or anything. Like,
the stories they told when he was WWE champion really just turn people off, I feel.
Yeah, like that's what it's a shame, because like it's hard for people to see through like a bad creative.
And he's not a bad wrestler. That's the thing.
I think he's great. Like, I
think as a main event guy, he had more potential than he was given. But yeah, it was 5 years ago. The WWE Championship was basically on SmackDown. It was like AJ Styles or bust.
Yeah.
And like what happens in February of 2018, Daniel Bryan suddenly gets cleared to wrestle, and now it's all eyes on those two. So that's kind of what happened with Jinder back in that time. But what do you think of Grayson Waller? I know you've at least seen him a little bit. Is he a giant dork, or do you like him?
No, he's exceptionally talented. Like, he's such a, like, he came in and his character is Logan Paul type douchebag, and I think he's very good at playing that heel. So much so that people really can't stand him. And like, for everyone who's like, who's got go away heat with me, I was like, he's very, very good in the ring. And if you're denying that, it's because you labeled him a certain way when you saw him and refused to adjust your opinion. Like, he has had damn good matches, like very, very good matches. Every pay-per-view match with him has been tremendous. So,
and he keeps getting better. So they're going to revisit Braun and Waller, because the match they had ended with tomfoolery and a count out because the middle rope broke. So they're going to now, for some reason, that warrants them doing the match in the cage at the next pay-per-view.
Well, because then if the ropes break, there's still the backing.
The cage can still break.
Yeah, man, that hasn't happened before.
I was going to say, Braun's going to like spear him through the cage. Nothing we haven't seen before, but
That would be great, actually. Do that.
it would. One thing I'm really looking forward to is when the Paul brothers come back. I really want to see them and Grayson Waller have a conversation.
Like an
I want to see an
interaction.
interaction.
Just have him there as like a tag along, like an irritating, like, and me, I'm with the Pauls.
The obnoxious Grayson Waller Paul.
Yeah. I think
I'm
that'd be
all
funny.
for it. Let's do it. Until then, let's get out of here, Tim. Where can the people
Yeah.
find you on the internet?
They can find me at TimStoneP, TIMBSTONEP on Instagram.
Just the Instagram. Nowhere
No,
else.
you can check out my band, Baby's First Pistol. It's difficult to Google that.
I'll say.
By design, it's supposed to be incredibly depressing.
There's some news out of Indiana that you'll probably get first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just I think it's at babies BABYS _ the number 1 ST _ pistol on Instagram. That'll take you the rest of the way.
Y'all really worked on the branding for this.
I had no control over that, but it's fine. And again, part of it is the performance art. That Googling that is horrible.
Absolutely horrible. Horrifying too.
Yeah, it's very sad. Good band. The lyrics. I think the tagline is the soundtrack to your nihilism. So yeah, it's pretty apropos.
I am at Joel Pearl, JOELPEARL. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm all over this channel, all over Fightful channels, whatever. Just I got some stuff coming down the pipeline that I'm very excited to announce. But until then, ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.